Hey guys, I'm Amy and you've landed on Belle Loves Bargains. That's my cow Effingham, and sometimes he co-hosts with me. He's got a lot to say. This channel is Dollar Tree and only Dollar Tree. And why? Because everything at the Dollar Tree is $1.25, people. So stick around, consider subscribing, and don't forget to give me that big thumbs up. And if you want to know more about the 4 uploads I do every week, just check out the description box for more information. Enjoy!
I fall to pieces, bum, 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 each time I see you again. I fall to pieces. How can I be just your friend? You want me to act like we've never kissed. You want me to forget, pretend we've never met. And I've tried, but I haven't yet. You walk by and I fall to pieces. Hi guys, welcome to Belle's Bargains. My name is Amy, and guess what? Today I have some totally easy crafts for you from Dollar Tree, and they are fall. I fall to pieces. Okay, let's get going. The very first one I'm going to show you it's super easy, and it is, they had these pieces that had the leather on them, and there's 3 of them, right? So grateful, thankful, and welcome. I love this. So I took the 3 and I made this a double-sided little ensemble. You can put it on a table, you can put it on a desk, you can put it anywhere, or just on a shelf somewhere. I think this is really cool. I gotta say, I really considered painting this a little bit darker than the white. In the end, I left it because I was really trying, this is sort of the totally easy. And as you can see, you can't really see the pumpkin through here, but I do paint the back of the pumpkin. Hold on, let me show you how I made it.
These 3 pieces, which I think are new this year, I loved them because they had the little leather piece on the front of them, but I wanted to make something more substantial out of the 3 of them, and so it was going to require having both sides of these decorated. So the leaf, I'm going to Mod Podge this napkin onto, so I'm just painting a pretty heavy coat of Mod Podge on it, and then just laying that over it. No rhyme, no reason to it. By the way, I did not separate this. I left it the 2-ply. I wanted it to be like a little lighter, and I knew having the dark background was gonna darken up a lot. So I just left it the 2-ply. Plus, I really like the wrinkles that the 2-ply gives you. I like that look. Call me weird. Okay, so you guys notice I spritzed it. What's the word? I spritzed it with water. And that's to help lay it down. So I got it all laid down, and then I put it to the side. Now the back of the acorn, this is of course my brown shoe polish, my favorite stuff in the whole wide world, right? So just put a couple coats on it just to cover it, and then I'm gonna need to make it look like an acorn on this side as well. So grab the black shoe polish to go over the cap of my acorn, and just doing that curved line just like the top of one. And I was going a little heavy on the where they come together there, like a shadowing of it almost. Then I'm going to paint the pumpkin, the back of the pumpkin orange. So I did a little of this orange and a yellow there to just give it more of a burnt, fallish orange color instead of a super bright orange. Anyway, I'm just going to paint the back of the pumpkin. Ironically, didn't need to because you can't even see it when I get done, but I wasn't sure. So, and when I do this, you'll notice I swirl the paint in the direction of what the pumpkin actual curves would be on it, and set that to dry. Now I'm going to take a nail file and file off all the napkin on this. Pretty easy to do, actually. Got a little on the front there, so I had to get that off. But Because there's so many little curves on this, it just takes, or maybe just a little bit extra time, but the nail file is so perfect for that because it gets right in there. Maybe I could have tried the burning way on this one too. I didn't. Anyway, but see how you guys see how it's still that it's dark brown, but having the 2 layers did lighten it up somewhat. So I knew that, and I was just trying to get it to just be a little bit lighter. I wanted to see all the leaves of the napkin powder pattern. So now I'm going to glue it together. So I'm using wood glue and hot glue. We're going to make this just a little trio, and it's double-sided. So look at how good that leaf looks. Oh! And so I'm just going to put the 3 of these together to be a little 2-sided sign. This is my gold metallic pen, and I'm just doing the little details on the top of the acorn. And then I'm going to pull out another marker to do the stem of it. It's a furniture marker, just to darken that again where the seam line, I guess, of the top and the acorn itself. Just a little bit of shadowing. Okay, now we're glue on the pumpkin. So this is super cute. I love how this came out. I hope you guys like how this came out. I like to take, when they give us pieces like this, and just let's make them a little more substantial and do something a little bit different. It broke off there. I put too much pressure on. Then I had to scrape the glue off and re-glue it. But in the end, it just came out. It came out really cute. So after I get them all glued together, I am going to put a little bit of ribbon on this. So I chose a thinner, smaller ribbon because this is not, it's not large enough to be able to take on a bigger ribbon. So this is the little tiny fall leaf ribbon from Dollar Tree. I'm just making a loop bow. I'm going to take some raffia. I'm really into raffia this year. Don't know why. And then just give it a little bit of free willy kind of wispies behind that bow there. And I just took jute twine and tied it onto the neck of the acorn. Did not put anything on the leaf. I just felt like only needed one thing on one portion of this. I did consider, by the way, putting some more color on that white leaf. But in the end, I was trying to make it as easy as possible. So, okay, and I'm just taking off the ribbon that was on there and going to do the same thing on this side. I think this came out super cute, and it really is easy. It's a great way to use some of these pieces that they give us. And, of course, this is a much more substantial piece. You could put this in the center of a table because it's good from both sides. Anyway, so I hope you guys I really hope you like this. I think it came out really cute. I'm going to finish putting my ribbon on there, and on to the next project. Oh, and the cost on this, what was it? $3.75, right? Pretty decent. Okay, so really very simple, right? Just the little bows, the raffia, and the ribbon on these. But I love this piece. I absolutely love how the leaf came out with the Mod Podge napkin on it. So super. Which one is your favorite side? This happens to be my favorite side. So, but whichever one you want. Okay, and the next one, when I hauled these, I said that I was going to do this with them, and I think this just came out super cool. So these were the boxes that they had out this year. It had wood on it, and I took 2 of them, and of course, what did we do? We made it another double-sided piece. I love to make double-sided pieces. But, you know, they gave us, they're just good bones. I think these are really, really cool, but let me show you how I changed it. When I got these 3 pieces, I knew exactly what I was going to do with them. I don't know if you guys remember when I was hauling, I was trying to find these, and I think I finally found them in Laughlin or something. Anyway, I'm going to deconstruct. So we're going to take the ribbons off that are on the top there. They're just glued on. And then take these stems out, which were like plastic, by the way. Interesting. So I just take those out. And I want to get these faux like crate braces off of this. So I'm going to score before I scrape them off because I don't want it to rip up the paper, because on this one it is paper on top of this. On the other one it's just painted. So I score it so as to not remove any more of the paper, because I don't want, I want to keep that on there. And it started to pull up a little bit, so I just rescored. This is a great little trick, by the way. Okay, so get those off, all 4 of them off. And then I'm going to sand this down, and because I'm going to do a little bit of aging on this. So I'm in those crevices, right, because I want some darkness, sanding it down so it will take stain a little bit darker in those areas. I do this all the time. Then I sand over the words. I'm just going to age it up. I really want to just make this look a little more vintagey, I guess would be a good way to say it. So I'm going to sand both of them down and get them to where I want them, where I feel like it's got enough taken off of it that it'll soak in some of the dark color when I shoe polish it. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other one. So this one had paper, right? So it was almost like a layer on top of it. I considered taking it off. But in the end, I left it. So I'm just sanding. It's the same effect, just to get it some wear on the corners and on the edges so that I can do some aging of it. And always just sort of sanding lightly over the words. Okay. And then I'm going to pull out the old shoe polish razzmatazz. And I really want to make sure that inside those grooves it gets a good dark color, because that's going to make them stand out more. So I'm going to take my shoe polish. I always have a dabber to start it with, and just go in there. Feed that shoe polish into it, and then we're going to wipe away. But the shoe polish on this orange just gives it the coolest color, just a light dabbing of it. And I'm going to do that on both of them. I wipe off, I add, I wipe off, I add. This is just how I do it. It's just a process. But it does end up just really, the coloring is great. I love how this came out. It's just super good. And see, sticking the shoe polish in those grooves darkens them up. See how much darker that one is? Yeah, okay. So, nice little trick there. So we're going to shoe polish this one all up with the brown as well. And I'm going to take it back to its sort of pumpkin look and put these back to back and make another two-sided decor piece. That's Marcus sniffling in the background. And the dog is chewing on a bone. It's just a bunch of noises tonight at the house. Okay, so I put the shoe polish on and then I wipe it off. But then I put more on and I wipe it off. I just go until I get the coloring that I want it to have and the aging that I want it to have. I don't want to see really any stark white. I kind of want to, have it looking very vintagey. Okay, and then I'm going to glue these together. So when I glue them together, I'm just going to use mostly wood glue. I don't want to use a whole bunch of hot glue because that'll cause a space in between the boxes, which is not what I want. But I do use just a very little bit of it so that it has an instantaneous bond. So wood glue, this is wood glue from the Dollar Tree, of course. And then some of my, just a little tiny dabs of hot glue in a couple spots just for a really quick instant hold. And then stand it up, make sure it's together evenly, wipe off the excess glue because the wood glue seeps out the side. And then I'm going to take my shoe polish, and now we're going to stick some shoe polish in between the grooves that where the two boxes joined. We want to make sure those are nice and dark as well, matching the rest of what we've done on this. And then we're going to just build it back into being a pumpkin and add my little detail, which I think is what makes this entire project. And when I first saw these, I knew I was going to do this. So by removing the faux wood pieces, I'm going to replace them with the faux leather, making it look like, it's strapped with leather. So I measure one, and then I make sure the other side is cut to the same size. And now I'm going to use tacky glue because it works amazing. And I'm just going to put tacky glue on the whole back side of it, and then get this ribbon on there. Now you notice I'm overlapping at the top because I'm going to make my little, that's like the little latch area. That's where it's coming together. So tacky glue all over this. Put it all the way around with an overlap on the front. Whichever side would be the front for you. It does not matter because they're both fronts. So and then grab some thumbtacks, because thumbtacks are going to be my little tacks on my faux leather trunk thing, or pumpkin, or I don't know what this is. It's a box, I guess. It's a pumpkin box. So where it's overlapped right there, I'm going to take gold thumbtacks and I'm going to hammer them in. And they do go, you just got to be careful because these bend really easy. One of them might bend and I have to, oops, go back and get another one. So the top ones on this side are down a little bit lower because that's where it overlapped. Like it was that's where they were meeting. I don't know how to explain what I'm saying, but anyway, that's what I did. So then we're going to put the other one on, and then I'm going to go ahead and start decorating the top of this, because we are going to take it back to looking like a pumpkin, just like it did when they were the individual two. So as I'm putting this on, I'm just trying to eyeball that it's in the same spot. Look at how beautifully it covers up the little marks left from taking off the little wood pieces. So it was just, yeah, I love this. I think this came out so cute. So easy, like so easy. And then we're going to add our thumbtacks in, and the outside of the box will be done. So, and I do go around to the back side and put thumbtacks in too. Now, as I'm putting them in, these are pretty shiny. It doesn't come off that way necessarily on the film here, but they are really, really shiny. And so I do go back and just dab shoe polish on them just to bring it down just a little bit. And it does pull away some of the brassiness of the thumbtacks. And I had a little bit excess of the ribbon there. I was trying to get it to lay down flat. And we're going to put 4 tacks in this, but of course these are going to be evenly spaced from the top and the bottom, not like on the other side where I had the overlap. Which I might do it differently if I did this again. I'm not going to do it again though. Why do I ever say that? I'm not going to repeat it. A project. When you do it once, that's all I need to do it. I don't need to do this again. Okay, so get those in and let's put the topper on her. So I grabbed a bigger tree stump cut piece, you know, from the tree pieces, birchwood or whatever it is that we got from Dollar Tree. Oh, there I'm dabbing on the shoe polish just to deaden that brassiness a little bit. So little tree pieces that everybody has been getting. Anyway, I have mine separated by sizes because there's bigger ones and smaller ones and thinner ones, and yeah. So I got a pretty thick stump to use as my topper on my pumpkin, and I'm going to take it and glue it smack dab in the center of the top of this. I spend way too much time doing what I'm doing right now. Oh, that's right. I took the shoe polish and just went along the edges of the faux leather because it is not dark. It's kind of light. And you know me, it's the little details. It's those little details that make a huge difference. So I just ran it along the sides of the faux leather ribbon. Okay, now I'm going to put the tree stump. I don't even know what it is. Nubby. It's a tree nubby on top to be our little stem for our pumpkin. So good solid piece. Going to stick it right there in the middle. Going to decorate up around it. And this thing is going to be done. I didn't use the black and white check that had been used on it because it just didn't match it. So a little, I go, why am I putting tacky glue on this? So I go and get the wood glue. A little wood glue, a little hot glue. Same thing as always. And put it down, and then we're going to add, again, some raffia. So this time the raffia that I used was green, just because I felt like that was more like, you know, foliage on top of your pumpkin. And I'm just going to use the ribbon that came off of it right there, which is that, it's almost like a plastic burlap, because I like to use pieces if I can that when I take them off of things to put them back on there. Anyway, that's it. I'm just going to put a little topper on this one and it is done. I think this came out so cute. I hope you guys like this one as well. leather ended up looking here. And this is just where I folded it over. It was kind of like that's where, you know, sort of like the, I don't know, the latches or anything. Okay, so, but there was a third box. And here it is. And I was trying to decide which ones to put together. But look at what a difference, right? So, the two of them that were solid colored, and I almost used both of those, but I loved that this one had the orange on that side. So you could do it however you want. But look at, this is what it started out like, and this is what it looks like. You guys see what I'm saying about just like the aging it? It's just pretty cool. Okay, so I love this, super easy. And it's just, again, like this is what, $2.50 to buy the two items and then embellish it with stuff that you have in your stash, hopefully, right? And the faux leather ribbon was perfect for this. And the final one is my favorite. Okay, and I've been wanting to do this. So this isn't technically decorated for fall. Well, I guess maybe because of the black and white. But it's probably gonna go in my kitchen and stay in my kitchen all year round. It is something that you could change and seasonally decorate. Maybe I will. But these signs, I ended up doing it in fall because it was in my fall stash because they put them out at fall and they have like a fall tag on them. But I've got to give credit where credit is due. When I purchased it, I was with Amy from Bargain's Mom, I think, when I purchased them, and I was like, I don't know, this letter, and she's like, put galvanized behind it. I was like, that's brilliant. But what I'm so excited, so thank you, Amy, good idea, was that I finally did some rusting of the galvanized. So I'm just gonna tell you that it is, just look up a recipe. It was, it is hydrogen peroxide, white vinegar, and salt. It is about 80% hydrogen peroxide, 20% white vinegar, and then I sprinkled maybe a teaspoon of salt. I don't even know, I just sprinkled them. I was like, maybe I'll add more salt, maybe I won't. Because the recipe was like a cup to whatever, and I didn't want that much. I just wanted that little spray bottle so that I could put this in there. So hold on, watch how I made this. And this is my favorite. So this was so fun. I've been wanting to do this, and that was to rust up some of the galvanized. It's interesting though, so the galvanized pieces, see how they're sort of dull, and then but the top on top of this mason jar sign is shiny, and it did take the rusting a little bit differently. Both came out perfect. I'm very happy with them. So this is, of course, my hydrogen peroxide, my white vinegar. It's about 80-20. And then table salts. And I didn't measure because every recipe I found was for a much larger scale, and I didn't need that. This is just one of the little tiny spray bottles at Dollar Tree that I mixed up my mix in. So I'm going to tell you this. I did spray it several times, and I put, at one point, I let it dry overnight. Then I stuck it out in the sun and let it dry, and I put it on top of the truck because Marcus was homesick, and that's when he ran over it, which helped me age it. So spraying this on, putting it in the sun does work better, but it did also work just leaving it overnight and letting it dry naturally. That just takes a little bit longer. And then I'm just using a paintbrush just to get off any of the excess sort of salty parts of it, I guess. It's the salt, I think, that's sort of coming off. But I think this came out so cool. I love the effect. And now, of course, you're just going to watch me do what? We're going to vintage and age this up. So again, we're sanding the sides. Marks ran over it, gave it some rough spots, so which just added to the vintageness of it, the oldness of it. The looks really old. And I'm going to just take this and sand up and down because that's sort of the faux grain that seems to be on this, on the sign. Then I'm going to get out my shoe polish. So I want you guys just to watch something here. When I do the shoe polish, I'm going to go brown first. And there's the tire marks. There is a reason that I go brown first because I'm sort of giving it a base. I like to mix the brown and the black. But when I do the brown first, the black, it takes the black differently than if you do it the other way around. I'm not sure that's making any sense. So the lighter color, I'm putting the lighter color on first, giving it a good base coat. I'm going all around those crevices on that R, and just trying to get it everywhere. I know I'm going to be able to wipe some of this off because these signs are almost made of like a glossy paper, so it's going to wipe some off. It's not going to dry on there, but it could dry on there just like this if you wanted to, FYI. So I'm going to wipe some off. I just play with it, and then I'm going to come in with the black. I'm going to do the black over it. In the end, the color that I get is so perfect with this galvanized. It's so good. So I'm just going to town here. Gonna get it to the color that I want. I was sanding something off there. Needed some help. And then these are just the glass wipes that I use, and so then they almost become like a staining rag because I can go back and use them when I pull the stuff off. Okay, so here I'm putting the black on, and you'll see the black, and you get hints of brown behind it because I'm going to wipe off the black. I'm going to leave some of the brown, and it comes up with this really cool color. Remember, nothing is ever one color, so you get more dimension when you add more colors. So I just play with it and play with it and play with it till I get it to where I want it. I go around the edge just because this had black accents on it, and so I know I'm going to put back on a black and a white check, so I go ahead and do all of the sides and around the letter in the black. And I think I even go back in and add more brown at some point. So this is just a personal preference on how you're going to age it and how much of this you're going to put on. Okay, and then eventually we're going to put on the galvanized, which is so cool. It comes out so good. I'm wiping more off. This is just a process, you guys. Yep. And then there's the dirty one because it pulls more color in. Yeah. Anyway, I think this just came out super cool. And is it really fall? Well, see, they sold these in all their fall stuff last year, so it was in my fall decorations. It will probably permanently stay up in my kitchen because it came out so cool. So now we're going to glue this on, and I did just hot glue it on, and then I used there's 4 holes for like putting a brad through. I'm using a thumbtack, and that's just to help sort of secure it. I know it's not going to go all the way through, so once it's in there, it's going to sort of bend over a little bit, but I do feel like it helped. So I just thumbtack with glue in the hole, then put the thumbtack, and then did some gluing along the sides of it too. I was just straightening out some bent corners there. This fits behind that R so beautifully. So I'm going to hot glue this on, and then I'm going to hot glue on the metal on the top. And it just looks so good. I mean, even without putting ribbon on this, I just think it came out so good. It was so cool to add that. Thank you, Bargain Mama, for that wonderful idea. To add that to the back of it. So, sticking hot glue, thumbnail, and thumbtack. Thumbnail, that's what I do for my videos. No, thumbtack, and then hammering it down. Jax has his toy right here if you're hearing the squeaky squeaks. There he goes. That's his squeaky squeaks. Look at how cool that looks. Oh, I just love how this came out. And then we're gonna glue some glue down the sides just to give it a little more grab on the back side there. And then we'll put some on the other side. And then we're gonna glue the top on the mason jar. This really did come out really cool. And I have some other letters. I'm thinking I really need to make these for folks, for friends, for Thanksgiving or whatever, or even Christmas. I could make this look Christmas. So I'm gonna glue that on. I'm just throwing a bunch of hot glue on there, laying it down. The metal gets hot from the hot glue, FYI. And look at how cool it looks once I put that topper on it. You see what I'm saying? You could almost just leave it like this, but I'm gonna go back to what it had on it, which was the black and white. And I tried a couple things. My gosh, I had chalkboard leaves, which I thought would look really cute, and blah, 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 blah. And I play with them, and I, go around. In the end, I don't end up using it because it was just taking way too much from, because there was already so much going on on the sign. So instead, I end up just taking and making this a bow and adding a little burlap bow on top of it. So you can watch me do all that. Just finish this off here. Anyway, this is my favorite. I hope it's your favorite too. And I'm going to come back on and say goodbye to you guys here in just a minute.
little bit of the tire marks. Yeah, so it was hysterical. I was like, did you run over my sign? Anyway, you guys, I'm gonna do some more of the rusting of the galvanized because I'm absolutely in love with that. If I'm gonna do that, then my kitchen is gonna be farmhouse. So I think this is just gonna look really cool. And again, I just wanna say, you can do it just by spraying it on there and drying it overnight and just leaving it. And I did it several times, but I think it worked better, and they suggest that you put it out in the sunlight, but I'm always crafting at night, so, but look at this, the top of this. It's so, do you not love this? $1.25 little sign, and then of course the piece of galvanized would have been $1.25, so $2.50, but this is so cool. Marcus really liked it. He goes, oh, it's for us. I go, yeah, it is. Okay, so that's my favorite. All right, guys. And I have moved rooms, so I'm in the process of setting up how I'm gonna be doing filming, so this one's sort of a not completely set up yet, but I'm working towards that. So it's gonna take a little bit of time to get my room exactly how I want it and so on and so forth. All right, so which one was your favorite today? I mean, although I do really like these, but this sign is just, come on, it's so good. Or was it my cute little trio here? It's a sign. Okay, guys. Everybody, have a great day, great week, a great life. And I fall to pieces. Bum-bum-bum. Each time I see a Dollar Tree. You want me to act like we never met. But see, that won't happen. All right, everybody. Did I say have a great day, a great life, a great week, a great day, a great week, a great life? If I didn't, I'm going to say it again. And from your singing crafty crafter, happy hunting at your local Dollar Tree. Don't forget, down in the comments down below, please tell me which one's your favorite. Let's give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. I love the comments. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time, besties.